And we're back with some more New York Rangers franchise mode in FHM 11. And in this one, we have the playoffs of year number 3, starting out against the Carolina Hurricanes, who are 46-28-8. And this was quite unexpected for your New York Rangers, as last year it looked like we were on the downswing, 40-37-5. Our roster was getting older. Then we made some trades involving Kreider, who we sent to Tampa Bay, who is 35 years of age. We acquired the rights to Väisänen and Lebre, 2 solid prospect defensemen who will hopefully sooner rather than later be coming onto our main roster. Then you have Bradley Nadeau, who ended up being a fantastic acquisition. 50 points in 75 games played in his rookie campaign, a 64 grade. And we got him in exchange for Julius Miettinen, who is still a 1-star ability and a 2nd round pick in his 7th. And then we traded Mika Zibanejad to Vegas in exchange for a first, which ended up being a lottery pick. And of course, we initially thought that was going to be a really not so great pick. Like Vegas was one of those teams that was a win now outlook, but now they're down here at 22nd in the league. So not only are we in the playoffs this year, we also have a lottery pick to look forward to. So I would say all around, those were some pretty solid changes. Even though I was not expecting this result this year, I was not expecting to make the playoffs, but I will certainly take it, as you have guys like Artamonov getting better. Although he did have something of a slow season this year, only 33 points compared to 36 last year, and that was in 63 games played. So I was expecting a bit more out of him this year, but hopefully he can have a better year number 3. Then of course Bradley Nadeau, who we already went over, he was a 2-star ability to start the season, now a 3-star ability. I'm liking where this team is headed, and we'll see what we can do in the playoffs without Mika Zibanejad, without Chris Kreider, without Igor Shesterkin. Not that he was really much of a help in the first place, but you know. But the point being, the core identity of this team has changed, and we are still somehow in a playoff spot. So let's see what we can do here in game number 1 against Carolina. Sim game. That will be a 4-3 Rangers victory. Shots are 50-42 in favor of your New York Rangers. 3 stars of the game are Hedel, Baudouin, and Nadeau. As it seems, we did go to overtime, 2 overtimes in fact, as Baudouin scores in the first period for Carolina to make it 1-0. But then in the second period, you have a goal by Adam Fox, opening up the scoring for us from Hedel to make it 1-1. Baudouin again makes it 2-1, but then Nadeau scores his first of the playoffs from Hedel to make it 2-2. And in the third period, Hedel scores his first from Pulock and Nadeau to make it 3-2, but then Svechnikov with the goal makes it 3-3. As we head into overtime, nothing doing in the first overtime, and then Tyler Seguin, the veteran acquisition, gets it done in the second overtime from Vince Dunn to make it a 4-3 Rangers victory. All right, here we go. Game number 2. Ooh. That'll be an 8-4 Carolina victory. I mean, shots are still 46-42, so we outshot them still. We had a pretty solid performance offensively. It's just our goaltending or our defense did not appear to be there. 3 stars of the game, Svechnikov, Jarvis, and Necas. First period, you have Kotkaniemi, Baudouin, and Svechnikov scoring to make it 3-0. Second period, you have Artamonov with his first from Kovacevic to make it 3-1. Then you have Svechnikov and Dickinson to make it 5-1. Ryan Pulock with the goal from Barbashev to make it 5-2. Gunler with the goal to make it 6-2 Carolina. And then you have Lafreniere with the goal from Shea to make it 6-3. As we head into the third period, you have Isaac Ratcliffe with the goal from Artamonov and Miller to make it 6-4. Makes it interesting, but of course Carolina gets 2 more after that. Coughlin and Svechnikov makes it 8-4. Here we go. Game number 3 will be a 5-2 Carolina victory. Shots are 29-25 in favor of Carolina. 3 stars of the game, Aho, Svechnikov, and Jarvis. First period, Carolina scores 4 in a row. Baudouin, Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis with the goals to make it 4-0 within the first 4:01 of the game. Jesus, that is not pretty. And then later on in the period, we score our only 2 of the game. The first scored by Trocheck, assisted by Hedel. Then you have Hedel with the goal of his own from Kakko and Pulock to make it 4-2. No scoring in the second. And then in the third, you have Coughlin with the goal for Carolina to make it 5-2. And we are down 2-1 in this series. All right, game number 4. Come on. All right, there you go. A 5-1 victory. Shots are 47-17. This series is certainly all over the place here. 3 stars of the game, Dunn, Fox, and Artamonov. First period, you have Necas with the goal for Carolina. That'd be their only goal of the game to make it 1-0. But then Pulock with the goal from Hedel and Nadeau to make it 1-1. Second period, you have Isaac Ratcliffe from Fox and Dunn to make it 2-1. And then in the third period, you have Hedel from Fox and Dunn. Artamonov on the power play from Shea and Seguin. And then Artamonov again a minute later from Dunn to make it 5-1, and we are tied at 2 in the series. All right, here we go. Key game number 5 in Carolina. Who's gonna win it? It will be Carolina. They get the 4-1 victory. Shots are 49-20. This series really is all over the place. First 2 games, it was a shooting gallery for both teams, and then I believe, was it game number 3 where it was a relatively low shot total? Yeah, it was 29-25 in that game. And then game number 4, heavily in favor of us, 47-17. And now here in game number 5, heavily in favor of Carolina, 49-20. 3 stars of the game, Gettinger, Coughlin, and Aho. First period, no scoring. Second period, Carolina gets 4. Jarvis, Coughlin, Gundler, and Dickinson with the goals. And then in the third period, you have Vincent Trocheck with a lone goal for your New York Rangers, assisted by Artamonov and Shea. And that will put Carolina up 3-2 in the series. So here we go, heading into an elimination game 6. We're heading into it. First period underway. Come on, boys. And that is a goal by Aho to make it 1-0 for Carolina. All right, that's it for the first. Heading into the second period, down by 1. And there's 2-0. Svechnikov with the goal. Puts Carolina up by 2. And in the third period, still down by 2. Nothing doing as of yet for your Rangers. But there's a goal by Trocheck from Fox and Dunn to make it 2-1. Score hasn't updated yet. There it is. And 3-1. Brett Pesce with the goal. Right, these are the... This was... The save file was created before the rosters were updated for the current season. So Brett Pesce is still on Carolina, and he gets the goal for them to put them up 3-1, and that should almost do it, but not before Nybeck scores the insurance marker to make it 4-1 with 11 seconds remaining, and that'll just about do it. So we're out in the first round. That's unfortunate. Shots at 31-31, 3 stars of the game, Aho, Pesce, and Svechnikov. I mean, obviously it's disappointing given the fact that, you know, we made the playoffs on a surprise run. But considering that it was more than this team was expected to do after trading Zibanejad and Kreider, I'm at least satisfied with the young guys getting playoff experience. You know, Artamonov getting experience, Nadeau getting experience. I think both of them are going to be a huge part of this team's future, both Nadeau and Artamonov. So before we advance into the offseason, let's take a look at the playoff stats for our guys. In 6 games played, you have 7 points for Hedel, 5 points for Artamonov and Dunn. So there you go. Artamonov, after a underwhelming follow-up to his rookie season, has a pretty solid playoff run. Then you have Pulak and Fox with 4 points, Trocheck, Nadeau, and Shea with 3. 2 points for Ratcliffe and Sagan. Yeah, that clutch overtime goal there, and that, I believe, was game number, what was it? Game number 1? Yeah, I think it was game number 1 right there. Yeah, where we went to the second overtime and Sagan scored. And then you have 1 point for Laf, Kovacevic, Barbashev, Miller, and Kakko. So Kakko, despite his 74-point performance during the regular season, is a ghost during the playoffs. Then you have Brandstrom, Coyle, Dano, Othman, and Sikora, all with 0. And then in goal, you have an .892 save percentage for Lindbergh in 6 games played, and an .826 for Patera in 3 games played and 35 minutes played total. So obviously, we still have a lot of work to do with this team. But like I said before, I think this is a good learning experience for guys like Artamonov and Nadeau. And hopefully, as we head into next season, we'll be getting some more prospects on board. It looks like we're going to get Benjamin Cavan. He's got a 2.5-star ability. I mean, we'll see how that changes between now and the start of next season, but it seems like he might be one of the guys who ends up getting signed. Then, of course, you have Ryabkin, still a 2-star ability, but I'm sure he'll get there. His offensive ratings are really getting up there now. Physical ratings are looking nice. Face-offs is at 16 now, so looking forward to seeing what he can do. And then VT Väisänen, who we acquired in a trade earlier in the season, is now a 2.5-star ability, 4-star potential. So I would imagine we are also going to be signing him, as he is currently a 3rd best defenseman according to our depth chart. But with that, let's advance through the rest of the playoffs and see who wins the Stanley Cup. Oh, never mind. It seems Benjamin Cavan is now down to a 1.5-star ability. So I don't know where that 2.5-star came from, but it seems like he's not quite ready for the NHL just yet. And VT Väisänen was also a little overinflated. It seems he's only a 2-star ability, but he is nonetheless getting better. And you have Dylan LeBray, who came along in the Väisänen trade, up to a 1.5-star ability, positioning getting up there by 1. So he is steadily improving. And the 2026-27 Stanley Cup champions are the Minnesota Wild. This is their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Stanley Cup winning goal was scored by Joel Eriksson-Ek. They went through Winnipeg, Nashville, Edmonton, and Ottawa. And it is time for the NHL awards for the Ted Lindsay and Art Ross. You have Jack Hughes, 136 points. Maurice Richard goes to Mikko Rantanen, who had 56 goals, 113 points. Lady Byng goes to Cole Caulfield, 53 goals, 108 points. The Bill Masterton goes to Andrzej Kopitar, now in Chicago. Looks like he signed there in free agency, 14 points. in 65 games played. And the Mark Messier Leadership Award apparently goes to Maxim Barbashev, who is not even an alternate captain on this team. So I do wonder how he got that award. He had 32 points in 81 games played this year. It's not like his leadership rating is even all that good. It's at a 12. I don't know how that award's decided, to be honest with you. And then you have Sam Montembeau winning the Jennings. He had a 914 save percentage in 46 games played this year. And for the heart between Hughes, McDavid, and Dahlin, it is Jack Hughes, of course, with that stellar season. And for the Conn Smythe, it is Matt Boldy with 32 points in 21 games played. What a run for him. And for the Calder between Nadeau, Ivanov, and Crystal, it's got to be Nadeau, right? Yep, Bradley Nadeau wins the Calder Trophy. There you go. And for the Norris between Miro Heiskanen, Rasmus Dahlin, and Jacob Chychrun, it is Rasmus Dahlin with 95 points in 82 games played. For the Selke between Ridley Greig, Christian Dvorak, and Nick Suzuki, it is Christian Dvorak of Montreal, 48 points in 82 games played. For the Vezina between Aiden Hill, Jesper Wallstedt, and Joey Dackard, it is Joey Dackard of Seattle with a 923 save percentage and 6 shutouts in 66 games played. Executive of the Year between Ron Francis, Kent Hughes, and Martin Brodeur, it is Ron Francis of Seattle. And for the Jack Adams between Martin St. Louis, Jim Slater, and Jay Leach, it is Martin St. Louis of Montreal. And we're on June 23rd, so we're going to sign some prospects, and it seems that we have no signing deadlines coming up, as the earliest signing deadline is in 2028. We're currently 2027, so we don't necessarily have to sign any of these guys right now. However, Ryabkin is currently at a 2.5-star ability, and Väisänen is also now back up to a 2.5-star ability. The question is, should we let them cook for one more year? I think as long as Ryabkin plays in the top 6, he should be good. He's got a pretty good offensive category there already. And besides that, it's already been a solid 2 years since his draft. I think he's progressed enough to warrant signing him. There you go. Meet demand, ask for response, submit offer. And as for Väisänen, he's currently 21. He was in the 2024 draft, 4th round. Yeah, I mean, he's got some really well-rounded attributes for the most part. I think he's NHL ready, but I think we'll be offering VT Väisänen here as well. And everybody else can wait. So Ryabkin and Väisänen will be the only prospects we sign here, at least for right now. And we also have all these guys expiring. I think I'm going to let most of these guys walk. I've already auto-qualified all the players that we can auto-qualify. And all the veterans we're just going to release. So I think that'll be just about it for that. Let's advance up to the last day of the 2026-27 season. And here's the 2026-27 season summary. We reached the playoffs, had a winning season, a winning percentage of 600 or better, and met our objective. Longevity bonus of 2, financial health bonus of 4, making our total season score 30 and total career score so far of 69. And let's max out negotiating, and then I'll put 1 into player management. Craig Berube is up for extension. I mean, he did a decent job this year, considering the roster we had. So I think we'll get him back for another 2 seasons. Oh, well, guess it didn't matter. Craig Berube retires, so we're going to need a new head coach. And that is definitely not going to be me, as my coaching ratings are still pretty down there. I mean, they're getting better for sure, but still a long way away from being a good coach. So let's see who we can find here. I'm thinking Luke Richardson here. He's got that standard physical, good coaching ratings in there, coaching prospects at 17, very important. Player management at 17, motivations at 16, tactics are at 17, in-game tactics are at 18. So I'm liking the look of him. Let's hire him as the new head coach for 2 seasons. All right, let's take a look at what we need. We have 2 goaltenders. We have 6 defensemen currently. We could definitely use 1 more out of free agency. And forwards, we're definitely going to need more forwards. I would say Trocheck is getting traded as well. Although our salary is currently only at $64 million. So we may actually have to keep him just to stay above the salary floor because we're actually currently below it. So let's see what's out there in free agency. There's Erik Karlsson, not getting... I mean, he's still a good player, but very old, not looking to go in that direction. D'Angelo, Zaka, Zetterland, Evans, Drysdale. Ooh, Jamie Drysdale. 25 years of age, 3.5-star ability, 23 points in 45 games played last year for Dallas, and a 61 grade. 18 speed, I like that. Good mental category. Let's see, how much is he wanting? 7.1 for 3 years. That's not bad. That said, he hasn't had a 50-point season since the 2024-25 season with Philly. He had 43 points this past season between both Chicago and Dallas in 78 games played. I mean, we do need some young defensemen in here. And while Drysdale isn't necessarily that young anymore to the point where he's going to be developing that much more, he's still like at the beginning of his prime, you know? So I think he might be worth pursuing. And then assuming we're not trading Trocheck, you would still need 2 more forwards at minimum. Let's see, can we bring anybody up? Suoniemi currently on a 2-star talent. Looks like he might benefit from 1 more year down there in the AHL. Adam Yeko, 2-star talent. I mean, he could do well in a maybe top 9 role. Defensive read is at 18. Positioning at 15. Yeah, he might not be bad as a 3rd liner. So I think I'll call up Adam Yeko for right now. Could always just re-sign Sikora as well. He's a 2.5-star talent. I just wasn't a fan of offering him what he was asking for before. Right now he's asking for 2.77. Think I'll offer him a little bit less since we have his rights. Okay, he's not taking anything less than that. Let's see, how do you do? 22 points, 56 grade, 45 hits, not much of a hitter. He's only 22 though. And it's not like we're hurting for the cap right now either. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that for Sikora. Marinochkin is up to a 2-star talent now. He's got that checking at 16, and everything besides the mental category, of course, seems to be pretty well-rounded and at least NHL serviceable. So it'll be interesting to see how he simulates. Guess I'll re-sign Othman as well. 1.25 for 2 years. Sounds good to me. Yeah, most of the forwards in free agency aren't really jumping out to me here. Man, I'll take a look at these 24-year-olds here. Jackson Coons, Arten Martino, and Steven Sardarian. And it looks like Martino was with Hartford past 2 seasons. So he was in our system, but we just didn't have his rights, I don't believe, because I don't remember ever seeing him. 1.5. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I'll give him a chance. I think I'll also sign Steven Sardarian. Got good speed, good passer, good puck handling. And he's asking for a minimum contract, so even better. There you go. We'll get him for 1 year. Now, what to do about Drysdale? I mean, I like him on that right side. Could be Fox and Dunn, and then Drysdale and Miller, and then Väisänen and Puluk. And he could probably help develop some of the younger guys as well due to how good he is offensively. Yeah, I'm thinking Drysdale might be a good move here. We'll go with 7.5 for 3 years. And now we will advance to the draft lottery, and we will see where we are picking with Vegas's pick. And now it's time for the draft lottery. At number 16, you have Columbus, followed up by Philly, Seattle, Utah, Calgary, and your New York Rangers at number 11. All right, I'll take it. I mean, it's crazy that this pick was even in the draft lottery to begin with. Vegas was supposed to be a pretty good team, but it ended up not being so. So I'll certainly take a top 11 pick. And then you have Tampa Bay, so Minnesota moves up. And Washington, Chicago, LA, St. Louis, San Jose, Florida, Detroit, and Minnesota moves up all the way from 10 to 1, and they are followed by Pittsburgh at number 2. Ooh, Drysdale has a new bidder. San Jose has bid on Drysdale. Let's see, what does he want now? 9.075. That's a bit much. I mean, we can afford it. It's just Drysdale isn't really a $9 million kind of player is my problem with it. And make no mistake, he'd be behind Fox on the depth chart, so he'd be second defensive pair. So I don't know if those minutes would be enough to justify giving him 9 mil plus. And Fox himself is only making 9.5. So do I really want to give Drysdale that kind of money? I don't think so. To be honest, I think San Jose can take him. I mean, as much as we need defensemen, I'm not that desperate for a defenseman like Drysdale. So what we'll do instead, I think we'll get Mario Ferraro. He's been solid for us in the Hamilton series, and it looks like he's had a solid defensive grade here in the simulation so far in this save file. He had an 80 grade with the San Jose Sharks in the 2024-25 season, as well as the 2 seasons after that. And for some reason, Winnipeg sent him to the AHL, but he certainly seems like a good signing. So 3.6 for 3 years. I mean, you know what? Just given the fact that he had that kind of grade, I think we'll do that. We'll go for 2 years though. And it's not like we can't afford it either. So here we go. Time for the draft. Let's see who is available for us at number 11. And of course you have a goaltender, Yaroslav Novak, 4-star potential, half-star ability. You have Nico Nyberg, 3.5-star potential. Looks like he's a ways away. Tobias Orchovsky, another goaltender. Oscar Venberg, 17 getting open, 14 positioning. Yeah, I think I want to get some more winger prospects in there. We have plenty of center prospects and quite a few defensive prospects now, but we do not have any wingers, and we also do not have any goalie prospects. Although I'm not a fan of taking goalies in the first round, so I think we're going to take winger here. All right, so I have 4 wingers on the draft list: Venberg, Berg, Von Dreiska, and Kirch. First of all, let's take a look at their personalities. Venberg, a little prone to controversy, but other than that, he's good. Berg, I guess, is okay, but his loyalty is not exactly great there. Changes his teams more often than he does his skates. Von Dreiska, tendency to get a little overconfident, and Kirch has a good personality. Although out of these four, I would say he's the least NHL ready. I'm thinking Venberg here. 47 points last year in 50 games played, 62 grade. By far the most skilled offensively out of any of these players. And his physical category is also, I would say, the most well-rounded. 14 positioning. Yeah, none of these other guys really compare to him. So Venberg, I think, has got to be the pick. Welcome to the New York Rangers, Oscar Venberg. Geez, that is 4 goaltenders in the first round. That is very much like this game. And now who are we taking with this pick? I think it's got to be either Berg or Von Dreiska. Berg's got the 1-star ability already, though. Yeah, I think Berg, definitely the best player available at this point. So Henrik Berg, welcome to the New York Rangers. At this point, we're now in the 4th round. Is there any other players worth taking? That is quite the name right there. But now it's just 2-star potentials remaining. So let me filter out the 19-year-olds here. There are only 4 2-star potentials. And out of these 4, I would say Melvin Wand looks like he's the best. So Melvin Wand, welcome to New York. And we're now down to 1.5-star potentials or less. So we'll just have the CPU finish the draft. And there you go. We have signed Mario Ferraro, Artem Martino, Brennan Othman, Adam Sikora, and Steven Sardarian. And of course, Jamie Drysdale has signed with the San Jose Sharks. So how much did they sign him for? 8.25 for 3 years. And there was no way I was paying him effectively what we're paying Adam Fox. So I'm sure we'll be fine without Drysdale, though. Actually, now that I think about it, I would like to get maybe 1 or 2 more defensemen just in case Väisänen isn't ready. But it's not going to be anybody too crazy here. What about Ryan Graves? 31 games played last year for Nashville, 29 hits, and a 67 grade. Yeah, I mean, that looks good to me. And it seems like he doesn't want too much money either. Yep, 1.36. That works for me as long as he'll do 1 year. I'll do 1.5. No, he really wants that 2 years. How about 1.7? All right, that'll work. How about Ethan Bear? 17 positioning, decent physical category, decent mental category, pretty decent all around. And he's pretty cheap and only for 2 years, so he will definitely do that. I'll take him to 1 year for 1.75. All right, there you go. Ryan Graves and Ethan Bear have signed. So let's just get a couple of 3rd string goaltenders here in Vladar. And then let's get Salminen back as well. And after they sign, we should be ready to advance into the year 4 preseason. There you go. Vladar and Salminen have signed. So that will advance up to the Hall of Fame inductions. And into the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Rod Brindamore, Sergei Gonchar, Doug Waite, and Chris Osgood. All right, we're at the start of the preseason of year number 4, but I think that'll be about it for this one, as we have done quite a bit in this episode. So I'll leave you guys off here. And the next one, we will start year number 4 with your New York Rangers.